A record number of people are languishing in Texas County jails, locked in limbo, awaiting a state hospital bed for mental health treatment they need in order to stand trial. Now, state leaders are grappling with how to tackle this costly crisis. We previously reported the number of inmates waiting in that system hit a record in November 2019 with 1,017. It dipped after that for a few months, but by mid-2020, the number was once again rising, hitting a new record last December of 1,508, and it remained higher than the previous record in the months to follow. Now we explore new efforts to help reduce this backlog, which has grown during the coronavirus pandemic.
I'm at San Antonio State Hospital. It's giving me insight. It's giving me time to reflect. It's giving me time to judge myself, time to think about my past, everything I've done, try to work on the future. For me, it's extremely important to stay on medication because it helps me, it helps take the edge off. It helps keep me stabilized. We've been having therapy for about 4 or 5 months already. That's been extremely beneficial to my mental health.
When we talked to your mother originally, we kind of talked about the time before when you were going between jail and a state hospital and kind of back and forth.
They'll say you're competent and competent, competent and competent, send you back and forth to jail, and the cycle word back and forth like purgatory. It's a loophole.
This is a meeting of the Joint Committee on Access and Forensic Services.
Notable here, the wait list, we did see in December, it did get over the 1,500 mark.
Also, the average length of time waiting is at an all-time high, which is up from our pre-COVID level of 70 days in March.
Why has the pandemic worsened this issue?
There's not as many personnel and many times to take care of people and to address their needs. There's a real slowdown in the court system, which is how people are directed to state hospitals. Our concern at Texas Jail Project is that the legislature thinks that the problems are pretty well solved because they've created a lot of funding for state hospitals to be renovated.
You talk about the legislature. One of the areas we've been looking at is legislation that's been introduced to create a forensic services office for the state that would really look at this data and help really focus on this problem.
We need to throw a lot of energy behind this to make sure that those who are not able to protect themselves and protect their liberties have the ability to speak with the defense attorney in a meaningful way. I have had calls from family members as well as defendants after they've been in jail, talking about their experiences in a psychotic break, in a rubber room, having been stripped of their clothing because of fear that they would hang themselves, being cold and naked in a jail cell while awaiting appropriate mental health care. I'm having a difficult time understanding why things like healthcare are not a priority in this legislative session, particularly in light of the pandemic that we are still in the grips of.
They just opened up May 3rd. We can have visits. So I got a visit not too long ago, like the day before Mother's Day. My mother visited.
What was it like to finally get to see him?
It was wonderful. It really was. It's been over a year.
What do you tell Adon when you leave at the end of a visit?
Think positive. Try to keep perspective. Be hopeful. Change is right around the corner.
To give you an idea just how much time Adon's had in the hospital, he's been able to write a handful of books, including this one called Chest Perception. It's about his life as a Marine and the mental health challenges he faced after. In it, he writes he hopes it will open eyes and help those who need it. He tells me his message with this book: don't give in to the war within and just keep moving forward. It's all part of the holistic approach Adon is taking to his treatment following those years in the justice system loop. Remember Senator Sarah Eckhart, who we spoke with in the story? Well, she said that's something she wanted to focus in her bill too, considering the continuum of care for people beyond criminality. She plans to revisit that point and refile the legislation in the next regular session in 2023. And there's an update to the waitlist numbers. In a meeting last week, state officials said the pandemic knocked hundreds of beds offline, but they are slowly coming back online, in addition to hospital renovations eventually opening up new beds. We explore the new numbers in these interactive features online in this story. Just look for it in the Texas Politics section of this station's website. And you can catch up on our complete investigation right now by going to lockedinlimbo.com. A candidate backed by Donald Trump loses a Texas special election. How the result is affecting politics in Washington and in Austin.